How's everybody doing? It's late, I know. It's late, I know, but I need to do a little live feed with you guys before I go to sleep. I will do the same live feed in Spanish. I know that it's kind of late, but it's really important to you guys to know what is going on in Venezuela. What is going on in Venezuela? Looks like a haircut in need. No, I'm not going to cut my hair. Hell no. I'm letting it grow. I will donate it to a person with the need of hair, cancer, something like that. So that is a promise that I made. How's everybody doing? Good evening to everybody. It's 9:54 over here in Tijuana. It's late. I'm sorry if I do this live this late. I didn't want to bug you guys. Right now, practically, you guys probably going to sleep. But this is around the time that I listen to the people that I listen to, that I admire when I investigate, sources. So this is kind of important for everybody to listen. Going on right now in Venezuela, and what's going to happen right now. First of all, I always say this, and I need to start saying it. God bless my country, Mexico. God bless my city of Tijuana, and God bless the United States of America. Sleep. You're not allowed to sleep. Give news 24/7. Thank you for giving me a rest. I was supposed to take a day off today, but I was like, hell no, I need to really, I need to do this. So, what is going on? What is going on in Venezuela? It is considered, and don't get insulted, people, because this is considered by a lot of journalists and by a lot of economists. I'm sorry. By a lot of politicians and by a lot of people, it is considered an invasion from the United States to Venezuela. Right now, as I'm listening and I'm reading a lot of newspapers from across the world, they are considering it an invasion to Venezuela. Why they're considering it an invasion to Venezuela? Because they say that the United States is famous for going into countries with the purpose of, to take oil from countries. They're not looking at the fact that the number one purpose for the United States to go into Venezuela is to stop the trafficking of cocaine, the smuggling of cocaine, the metric tons of cocaine that Maduro it is trafficking through, from Ecuador to Central America, and from Central America to Mexico. From Mexico, they're catching it and then trafficking it into the United States. Don't get insulted immediately. I understand some of you people get on defense mode. China is also invading us. No, they're not. It's a virus. It's not China. So it's different scenarios. Let's leave the China virus right now alone, and let's concentrate ourselves on what's going on in Venezuela. And the thing that is really concerning people is that this is the most concerning thing. It's the response of the Venezuelan allies. You know who are their allies, right? Their allies are, nada más y nada menos, like we say in Mexico. Their allies of China are Russia. The allies of Venezuela are Russia and China. My God. Russia and China are the allies of Venezuela. And for to practically the United States to go in, they had to come to an agreement right now with Russia. That is what they're waiting on. And I will put some audio of a great journalist. He is, my idol over here in Mexico of politics. His name is Pedro Ferriz de Con. And he does an analysis with another journalist that his name is Yuri Elrich, by descendants of Germany. And this is his analysis. I will put the interview and Omar Castañeda Blue va a ser live hoy. Sí, ahorita termino unos 20 minutos y me voy contigo. Voy con ustedes. Va a ser pequeño, no va a ser muy largo. Omar Castañeda, saludos, brother. And this is the analysis that Judy Elrich is giving of what is going on right now with the situations in Venezuela and how the United States is going to go in. It is taken to a lot of countries as an invasion, but they're not looking at the particular number one situation. Now, this journalist right here, these Mexican journalists, watch out. This guy, Pedro Ferriz de Con, he is, a really important guy in our country. A lot of them, they don't like him. The left in our country doesn't like Pedro Ferriz de Con because he is a conservative. He is, right wing. He is like this. He was, but something happened right there in the road, and he was not a candidate. He knows the country real well, and he's been criticizing AMLO since he started with his socialism and communism. Now, 2 points really important about this interview. One, they say, that it's considered about an invasion, but the most important thing that Pedro Ferriz de Con tells, Yuri Elrich is that Trump is moving the pieces and is going to take piece by piece out. And he says something really amazing. He says, a thing that I've been telling you guys, that is going around now, the word is going around. And this is, I will write the names, Errol Robinson, just hold on a minute. He says this, really important. He says, if he's going after Maduro, that he's the president, and the one president that is catching all the drugs over here in Mexico and is giving the authorization to catch it is AMLO, who do you think is going to go against next? So we need to be prepared after the pandemic. We need to be prepared for what the United States is going to bring to our country, because the United States considers now the cartels, the United States considers them as terrorist groups. And you know how the United States acts with terrorist groups. they don't play around. The United States, after 9/11, they don't play around with terrorists. There's no negotiation with terrorists. There's nothing stopping the United States from going in, getting the target out, and moving on to the next target. This is amazing, people. As I am going to give you the translation about the interview, and I will do it as much as quick as possible so you guys can understand why I come in this late, because I think that this is really important for you guys to understand that China, about China with the China virus, with the Wuhan virus, and everything that China has implemented to go against the United States for the commerce trade that it was arranged by Donald Trump. China is not agreeing with the United States going in after Maduro. Watch out. Watch out. They are trying to negotiate. The United States is trying to negotiate with Russia to try to go in for Maduro. Negotiations of petroleum, probably. But when it comes to China, China is pissed off. They say Venezuela is our ally. You don't touch Venezuela. And right now, how the situations are with China and the United States are like this. There's a thin line between love and hate. Like this. This is why I'm coming in this late. For you guys to understand that this is going to get difficult. This is why Trump said in the incoming 2 weeks, it's going to get hard. It's not because of the COVID only, people. It's about other political situations that they're going to happen. This is the interview with Yuri Ulrich, a collaborator for Central FM. And in this, in this analysis, it says Venezuela, the situation in Venezuela and the threat of the United States, that, it presents a crisis that they're going right now for the COVID-19, and that hasn't taken the finger off of going after him, the United States. This is the interview. We're going to listen to it. Listen to it. I don't have the video. We're going to listen to it, and I will translate what they're saying. I will pause, and I will translate. Sorry if I don't have the video. It is only an audio because it's on the radio.
Central FM. Equilibrio. Yuri, te saludo esta mañana. ¿Cómo estás, Yuri? Buenos días.
Pedro, ¿qué tal? Muy buenos días, amigos del auditorio. Muy buen día. Pedro, vemos un panorama fuerte en Venezuela.
This is Yuri Ulrich talking right here, and he's saying, Pedro, he's talking to the host, Pedro Ferriz de Con. And Yuri is saying, Pedro, I see a really difficult, scenery for Venezuela.
Pues no es un panorama fuerte de unos días para acá. Realmente es un régimen que se viene desmoronando ya desde hace años.
It is not a scenery that has been good from here. It's a scenery that has been looking bad since years.
Inflación que promedia el 1,000,000% anual. 1,000,000% anual, nada más un poco para que imaginemos quienes hemos vivido en México lo que hemos considerado hiperinflación. El peor año en términos inflacionarios en México de los últimos 30 a 35 fue 1987, y lo peor que llegamos a vivir fue 175%.
Imagine this. He's saying that the situations in Venezuela are so worse that they have 1,000,000 on inflation. 1,000,000% on inflation. And the worst year that Mexico had on inflation, saying on economy, is that, that it was in 1987, and it was 100 and some percent. Imagine 1,000,000% in Venezuela on inflation. So he goes on.
Perdón, 175% de inflación.
175%
Hablar ya de 1,000,000% de inflación es otro nivel, y más ahora que, por ejemplo, por la cuarentena vemos en nuestras propias calles restaurantes cerrados, comercios y demás.
Talking about the 1,000,000% of inflation in Venezuela, it's horrible, and now with the COVID-19 and everything that is going on, imagine how, the inflation is going to be.
Todo esto ya se viene viendo en Venezuela desde mucho antes.
And everything that is showing right now, and everything that is happening in Mexico right now with the inflation, also because Mexico is suffering of inflation, it's the same scenery that Venezuela had for lots of years.
Considerara la existencia del coronavirus. Vaya, frente a todo este panorama, frente a una violencia creciente, un desabasto absoluto de productos.
He's saying, my God, not only for this that is going on with the 1,000,000% of inflation of the economy of Venezuela, but they are out on the regular products as eggs, milk. They are out on all of that.
Ni huevo, ni leche. La famosa harina para arepas en Venezuela, es más fácil conseguir la harina que es propia para...
A famous product in Venezuela called the arepas, that with that they make hotcakes. It's much easier to buy it over here in Mexico than to buy it in Venezuela. Imagine that.
En México que en Venezuela. Esa ya prácticamente no existe por allá. E incluso hay letreros en la calle como poniendo se busca,
Inclusively, they're saying that there's waiters outside on the streets of Venezuela showing the product that it was real famous called arepas. It's like, it's like talking about Mexico that in one day you say that there's no people be the day. But, it's exactly the same as Venezuela. Arepas is a real famous product of Venezuela, and they don't have that product anymore. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Sea, etcétera, porque no la hay. En todo este panorama se desmorona el régimen de Nicolás Maduro, montado además sobre 4 bases básicamente criminales.
He's saying that the regime of Nicolás Maduro down, and it's based on 4 criminal platforms.
Controlan los recursos, controlan la corrupción.
They control the resources, they control the corruption.
Y en este momento hacen que sea el objetivo a perseguir por parte de un Estados Unidos que tiene que, por una parte, consolidar un liderazgo regional, negociar con Rusia para...
And right now, the United States needs to consolidate as they need to, put the foot down. But more importantly, the United States needs to negotiate with Russia.
Ciertos equilibrios, ciertos controles y fortalecer en este caso a su presidente que está buscando.
And right now, Trump needs to, be strong, and the United States need to be strong, and they need to, if they're going to go into Venezuela, they need to negotiate with Russia.
La reelección en momentos muy difíciles, principalmente por la recesión que se vive y el hecho de que ningún presidente en Estados Unidos ha conseguido ganar la reelección en momentos en que hay una recesión.
And most importantly, he's doubting about, not doubting about Trump winning the next election, but he's saying these are really difficult times that the United States is going through right now, and it's going to go difficult for Trump to win the re-election because of all the things that every other country is doing to the United States.
Entonces necesita un gran golpe internacional que
So the United States needs a big strike, a big international strike to make their name and to understand that they're going to liberate, some people. Who are these people? People from Venezuela. He elaborates and explains.
Obtendría acabando con el régimen de Nicolás Maduro, que viene siendo el pilar fuerte del Foro de Sao Paulo.
Now, look at Trump, man. Trump is not going for any puppet. Trump is going against right now, the number one guy that is bringing socialism to the world, that is Nicolás Maduro. And he is explaining that by taking Nicolás, he's going to take all the most important piece of the Forum of Sao Paulo. For everybody that is watching and hasn't seen the Forum of Sao Paulo was funded by Fidel Castro, But later on, it was, basically Hugo Chavez, the dictator from Venezuela, was the one that started the Forum of Sao Paulo much stronger. Now Maduro is the leader of the Forum of Sao Paulo. That is all socialist agenda. The majority of them, all of them are socialist agenda. And Trump is trying to take the forum, this particular and important piece, take him out, that is Maduro, and that way they will annihilate the Forum of Sao Paulo, or it will basically be destroyed. Now let us see what it explains right here.
Vemos que buena parte del eje bolivariano se basó durante los años de Chávez en los subsidios que daba una Venezuela pletórica de recursos por precios del petróleo que estaban sobre los 100.
And Maduro is trying to bring that ideology that Chavez was in the last years of Chavez with the petroleum, who was selling $100 per barrel. Thing that is never going to happen again, he explains.
Por barril. Cosa que ahora no existe ni volverá a existir, Pedro.
Dos asuntos que tienen que ver con el pensamiento que hemos venido aquí proponiendo.
This is Pedro, and he does great analysis, and he says two things that I got to say something about what is going on with the things that you just talking right now. I'm going to do two observations.
Lavrov no se desgastó en ese mensaje que hemos venido aquí proponiendo. Rusia, acaba de mencionarla. La semana pasada, que hubo en torno al movimiento de Estados Unidos hacia Venezuela, una nota reprobatoria de Moscú con la subsecretaria.
He's saying that Russia just released a statement that, a statement that they are completely upset and reproving, and also saying that they are in complete disagreement with the United States going into Venezuela, Russia.
De Relaciones Exteriores de Rusia y no con el secretario Lavrov.
The Secretary of International Relations was the one that said, of Russia, that they are in total disagreement of the United States going into Venezuela.
Para mí es un mensaje importante decir, Lavrov no se desgastó en ese mensaje. Y por el otro lado, estoy viendo la también nota reprobatoria de China.
And on the other side, he's watching the statement from the Secretary of International Relations from China. Also, that they are upset because the United States is going into Venezuela. Imagine this. So you have a situation right now where Russia and China, those are allies of Venezuela. It's playing with fire right here. It's really strong regimes, but the United States is not backing down. They are going after Maduro. And this is the statement that China said about the United States going after Maduro.
La posición china frente a la invasión norteamericana en Venezuela la da no el ministro de Relaciones Exteriores de China.
He's saying that the statement that they are releasing, it was released by not the Minister of International Relations, but
portavoz, que es Hua Chunying,
the House Speaker, Hua Chunying,
reitera el apoyo de China a la independencia y soberanía de Venezuela.
He says that the House Speaker from China, he says that they give 1,000 support to Venezuela into their republic, into their freedom.
Pronuncia en contra de cualquier interferencia externa en asuntos internos.
And they pronounce against any interference from international exterior. They pronounce against whoever wants to come to invade or to attack or in a way to enter Venezuela by another country. Amazing. China now and Russia, their allies of Venezuela are completely defending the fact that Maduro is not only trafficking cocaine, metric tons around the continent of Europe, the continent of Asia, in the continent of America. That is not important for Russia and China. The most important thing is that socialism keeps coming not only to Venezuela, but to the continent of America. Then he goes on and says,
y lo más que dice es que exhorta a Estados Unidos a que cumpla con la Carta de la ONU.
And the most important thing that the House Speaker of China says, that the United States needs to comply with the letter nations
las básicas que rigen relaciones internacionales. Esto es de ahorita.
That those are the basics that they are the agreements for international laws.
O sea, China reprueba, Rusia reprueba, el operativo está, y un último punto, Yuri. Este ataque es a Nicolás Maduro y es una medalla que pretende.
And he's saying Russia is against it. China is against it. And this attack, it's a medal of honor that Donald Trump wants on his country.
Pero es un ataque a los cárteles de la droga ligado.
But it's more entirely not only an attack to Maduro, but it's an attack to the cartels that they are linked also to Maduro and to Venezuela.
Excepto terrorismo. Yo pienso que después de esto viene México.
And not only he's attacking Maduro and he's attacking the cartels, but also Donald Trump is going to attack terrorism in that part of the Central America. And I believe, look at his words, I believe that the next country that the United States are going to enter to end the cartels and the terrorism is Mexico. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Imagine if that happens. Imagine if that happens. We've been talking about this, and all of you guys been saying Trump offered when all the Lebanon killings started happening in Chihuahua, and the beheadings at the border, and the beheadings in Central America, in central of the country of Mexico. All of that, Trump sent a letter and a communique and a statement saying to AMLO, if you need help, we got you right here. I'll take care of it. And AMLO was like, no, we don't need no military. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of international laws that you got to go to go into another country and take care of terrorism in another country. But it's more unbelievable how Trump is a chess player. Everybody's been telling me this. Since I started, understanding his philosophy, I understand it that this guy does every move with a purpose. Donald Trump does every move with a purpose. And now he's taking the big piece out of socialism. I remove Maduro, then the cartels and the organized crime, I'm the one calls the shots. I will control that. And the one that is penetrating my country is the cartels in Mexico. Then I will take care of that. By stopping what is coming in from Ecuador, I will have only to take care of the border between Mexico and Guatemala. And then I will arrange and negotiate with AMLO. And he is going to listen. There's no other way. What he's doing to highlight people. Everything sounds nice. Everything sounds beautiful. Everything sounds that at the end of the day, Donald Trump is going to be the hero to end the cartels and to end terrorism. Everything sounds great. We need to put attention and we need to be real with each other. We're playing with fire right here. Russia is against the idea of the United States going into Venezuela. And Russia is Venezuela's ally. China is against the idea of the United States going into Venezuela. And Venezuela is the ally of China. You guys seen what China is doing right now to the world. We need to understand that this is not going to get pretty. This is why the President of the United States said in the incoming 2 weeks, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not about the COVID only. It's about all the things that this man is doing to control the violence, cocaine distribution, socialism. Holy cow, man. Holy smokes. This is why globalists, they want to remove him immediately. This is why. There's no other reason why. He says he's a wall in front of all their plans. Let me just put just one little phrase that he's going to say more to elaborate to explain that after this, they're going to go after Mexico.
En el ánimo de atacar todo lo que produzca drogas y que sean estas enviadas a los Estados Unidos. ¿Cuál es tu punto?
And Trump is going to attack everything that produces cocaine and drugs that they are going into his country. What do you think about this, Yuri?
Pedro, desde hace ya varios meses se viene mencionando la posibilidad de designar a los cárteles mexicanos del narcotráfico.
Pedro, he says, from the longest of time, the United States has been trying to designate the cartels of Mexico as terrorists.
Organizaciones terroristas. Todo esto se fortaleció muchísimo cuando vino el ataque a las familias Levarón y...
Everything got stronger, and all of this got much stronger when the attack on the Levarón family that it was assassinated cruelly in the border of Chihuahua. All of this got stronger about the government of the United States trying to designate the cartels of terrorists.
Allá en Bavispe, Sonora. Y por un momento se pudo posponer, pero siempre se aclaró que se posponía la consideración de los cárteles como agrupaciones terroristas.
And for a moment, the United States, it got postponed as designating the cartels as terrorist groups. Why it got postponed? You got to understand why it's happening everything on the year that Donald Trump is being reelected. Why it got postponed? You got the global compact of immigration. You got a lot of migrants coming in. So he had to deal with that. And then he has to deal with Democrats on his own country. And then he has to deal with globalists. And then he has to deal with socialists. And then he has to deal with people not giving him money for the wall. And then he has to deal with the impeachment. And then he has to deal with the Russian, whatever scandal that they're trying to put him. And then he has to deal with Ukraine. And then he has to deal with all this stuff. So it got postponed. But right now, all of that impeachment is out. What's his name? This scandal from Ukraine is out. All these Democrat socialists that keep yelling and yelling and yelling, and they're not doing anything about it. So he's back into the point of designating the cartels as terrorists.
Dijo que eso se cancelaba. Recordemos que entre diciembre y enero, el fiscal general de Estados Unidos, William Barr, vino 2 veces a México, cosa que...
Remember that the fiscal of the United States, William Barr, this guy that I put the other day, that he was explaining how the cartels work in the borders of Venezuela with Colombia and how they're transporting it from Ecuador to Mexico. It's really a smart guy. William Barr, he's a beast. He's a really smart individual. This guy came 2 times to Mexico, and he's saying it's the first time in history that one guy from in charge of the government of the United States of the security and against organized crime, William Barr, has come 2 times to Mexico. It's the first time in history that happens.
Ocurrido jamás. Y precisamente, además, aquí estamos viendo un ejercicio de gabinete que actúa realmente más allá de lo que hace su propio presidente, tomando decisiones, absorbiendo impactos en un tema que es muy delicado. Entonces, esto de los cárteles mexicanos que pudieran ser señalados como terroristas no es una cuestión de ayer, es algo que ya se viene trabajando.
So all this about designating the cartels as terrorists is not a thing of yesterday. It's not a thing of 1 week or 2 weeks. It's a thing that has been on the kitchen cooking for quite some time now. It has not been designated, and they have not done something about it because Trump has had like a million things on his back. So he cannot deal with this, and this. He's like, hold on a minute, I got it. William Barr, I got you right there, brother. I'll come back to you in a couple of months. I'll come back to you in a couple of months. Just wait for it. He came back to William Barr. Trump came back to William Barr. It's like, hey, William, we need to sit down and talk about the designations of the cartels as terrorists. I think we need to go after this guy. And it's amazing how, now it's working. All the plan is working.
Finalmente se estuvo advirtiendo. No debemos darnos por sorprendidos, principalmente, Pedro.
Bueno, con esto nada más quiero envolver todos los comentarios con algo que se ve en Washington.
With this, Pedro, the host, the journalist with so much vast experience in our country of Mexico. For me, this is the best journalist in Mexico. I follow him. I listen to him every day. He's on Central FM. He speaks only Spanish, but he's trilingual. He knows how to speak German, Spanish, and English. He's a really smart man. He's in his late 50s, early 60s. Extremely important in our country to give information out. And he's saying, in closing, with all of this information that you just had said, and that I am going to say, I'm going to give my opinion.
Estados Unidos atacando Venezuela bajo la vía de que Nicolás Maduro está en una relación de narcotráfico.
Right now, the United States is going to attack Venezuela by the regime by the statement that, or the regime that Maduro, it's trafficking cocaine with the biggest organization in the world that is called the FARC, that is a cartel organization from Colombia.
Que perjudica a los norteamericanos. Ahora, ¿qué creen ustedes que pueda sentir Estados Unidos cuando está un López Obrador que va a Badiraguato, que saluda a la mamá del Chapo?
Now, what do you guys think after Trump going through all this process? After Trump going through an impeachment, after Trump going through the global compact of immigration, after the United States going through this COVID, after, Ukraine and all this stuff, after all of this, that, the president of the United States is going, and after risking and going after Maduro because of the cartels and because, the United States is going to attack Venezuela because of they're trying to stop the penetration of cocaine, not only through the continent of America, but in Europe and Asia. What do you think the United States government thinks that they see President of Mexico, López Obrador, on a ranch in Badiraguato, Sinaloa, shaking the hands of the mom of El Chapo, with the brother of El Chapo Guzman on his back, having tacos in the birthday of the son of El Chapo Guzman, the other son, that is Ovidio Guzman, the one that the government of Mexico captured, and he got released. What do you think? He asked, what do you think Washington thinks of our president? I think that I've been saying.
Sí, yo te sigo ayudando, no te preocupes, que se echa una taquiza con miembros del cártel de Sinaloa, entre ellos Aureliano Guzmán, el hermano de Chapo Guzmán, y que meses antes, en el primer operativo fallido de esta cosa que le llaman la Secretaría de Seguridad Pública, toman a Ovidio y
exactly he's saying what I'm translating. What just I translated. That what do you think Washington is going to think about? What do you think Washington is going to think about our president of Mexico? When our president of Mexico, the government of the United States is taking this so serious that they're going after Maduro, to remove the trafficking of cocaine through the borders of Ecuador and through his country going through Mexico, and the flood of cocaine and all the way to the continent of America, Asia, and Europe. And next thing you know, you see AMLO shaking hands with the mom of El Chapo. We already know that AMLO is friends with Maduro. They've been in the same forum of Sao Paulo. They're socialists. They are with this socialist agenda and this destruction. Now, I wanted to come on this line, people, to tell you something to take home. And tomorrow, probably people are going to see this video. The most important thing right here that we need to understand is that we are playing in the United States, in my opinion, is going into difficult grounds right now. Hard, difficult grounds. It's not the first time that the United States has played with fire like this. It's been more than 1, 2, 3 times. But I believe that the United States is going to negotiate with Russia to go in and to go after Maduro. You see now that the Secretary of International Relations from Russia just said that they completely are neglecting and they don't agree with the intervention of the United States through Venezuela, and they believe that Venezuela is a sovereign nation and they need to comply with the United Nations rules and laws of international sea and law. Also, China is denying and is neglecting, and they are really upset that the United States is going in and they are saying a word, invade Venezuela and invade their sovereign nation, and to try to take out Maduro. So, both of these countries, they are strong countries. They got strong regimes. We are going to see in the next couple of weeks difficult situations, difficult decisions, hard decisions, and things that they are going to happen that we need to understand why are they being done and with what purpose are they being done. Negotiations need to be done. I think that the smartest man in this planet to do negotiations is Donald Trump. He's a really smart businessman, really smart. I think that, they are going to negotiate. But the most important thing right here is that we already seen what China can do to the world. Create a virus, stop the economy, affect the economy around the world, and kill people with the virus. I don't care what they say. If they're going to say to me, you're telling me that all Chinese people are killing people. No, the virus came from China. And it's not COVID-19. It's not coronavirus. It is a China virus that it came from China, and it was made in China with a purpose to kill individuals, to affect the economy, to affect the commerce, the international exporting and importing around the world, and to kneel all the countries to China and to say, we need you, China. You are the most important country in our world. That is why the coronavirus was made. That is why the China virus was made. That is the reason why it was made. It's biowarfare. Exactly, Heather. Exactly. It didn't came out of a bat. It was not made over dinner. No. This was made to affect the world. And now we know the capacity of China, what they can do. The most important thing right here is the negotiations that they're going to be done if the United States still continues with the persistence to go after Nicolas Maduro. That Nicolas Maduro is the dictator and trafficker of metric tons of cocaine through the continent of America, Asia, and also Europe. The United States is not stopping. They're going to be persistent, and they're going to go after the dictator Maduro. This is the most difficult situation. The negotiations between Russia and China. China, they're not going to permit it. They're not going to permit. They just said the independence of China, the independence of Venezuela, China. The House Speaker of China said the independence of China, of Venezuela, needs to preserve. And they're a sovereign nation. Nobody needs to invade that sovereign nation, and the United States needs to comply with the letter of the United Nations. You know how Trump feels about globalists, right? You know how Trump feels about the United Nations, right? He made a statement in the United Nations saying socialism will never win. Globalism will never win. And if you are coming to invade my country, my sovereign nation, you will be returned back. I suggest that you stay in your country and fight for your country, as we are going to try to provide and help. There's a door. Go through the door. Don't jump through a fence. Important information for everybody to seek in and to understand the situations that they're going on right now with the United States and negotiations with Russia and China. This is going to be breaking in this week. If something does not go as smooth as the United States, they're trying to persuade the situation, something's going to happen. And I don't like to panic people, because my job is not to panic situations. My job is to inform. And right now I'm giving my perception and my opinion. Negotiations need to come to an agreement. I think that petroleum is going to be the number one negotiation between Russia and the United States. That is ultimately, the number one objective when it comes to now, it's not a prize, but, the number one object that the United States is going to be receiving from, liberating the people from socialism. I don't understand. I believe that is going to be the negotiation factor. But Maduro, believe me, Maduro is trying to do the best that he can to create the best atmosphere with his allies, that they are China and Russia. We are playing with fire. The United States is playing with fire right here, going after Maduro. They already thought about it. They already made a statement. They already put a number on it, Maduro's head. They're going after him. Donald Trump has a plan to go after Maduro like this and to make a statement and to practically put it out to the world that he's going after him. He has a plan. He's not going after him just because he woke up one day and he said, I'm going after him. No. He's going after him because he has a plan. And I believe that he's going to come to a negotiation with Russia. That is the only country that is in China, both of them, that they are totally against the United States going into Venezuela to go get, Maduro. God bless you all. As Americans say, the United States always prevails. The United States always wins. And God bless the United States of America. God bless your president. I admire that president. I don't care what everybody says. Really, I don't care. God bless you all. I wanted to jump in here. I got 340 people on the feed. God bless you all. It's 10:41 in the evening. I want to show you a gift that one of my uncles gave me. This is a beautiful gift. USS Midway right here, CB41. one of the most beautiful gifts that I have received. And also that, my cousin, God bless him. God bless my cousin, my baby cousin. I love you so much. If you're listening to me, brother, my baby cousin went back to his service to the National Guard. One of his purposes, as he served 5 years in the National Guard, and he released his services, and now he's going back to help his country because of the pandemic and the situation that is happening. So he returned back to his to serve his country and to try to help his country. Man, I'm so proud of you. I'm really proud of you. He's a registered, I forgot the name. I will remember right now. Registered paramedic, and he's going back again. So I know you're listening to me right now. I know I love you with all my heart. You're my total admiration to you. I love your cousin, and all of this kind of situations are happening in our times. We're watching and we're being witness about situations that are happening in our world, and it's really hard to accustom ourselves to all of the things that are happening. We're so stressed right now of the COVID that we don't look at other things that are happening, and we need to put attention to every single thing and take it. Breathe deeply, people. Relax, research, read, and try not to focus on the negative. Try not to focus on the negative. Try to focus on the positive. Let's see how this is going to play out. The only thing that I can tell you is that this is playing with fire. This is really playing with fire, trying to negotiate with Russia. And really is difficult. And trying to negotiate with China when we already know how it went with China. And China is not going to take second chances. So I wanted to jump in here and do this quick live feed. Okay, people, I'm going to say something tonight. I got a big surprise for you guys coming up this month. I'm not going to say today. But there's a huge surprise that I'm going to give you guys this month. God is real good. That's why we need to keep our faith. Our faith is the one that keeps us standing. Our faith is the one that keeps us standing. I forgot to read the other day the Bible as I always read it every day, every night. Some followers are going to go away because they don't like to listen to other Mexican reading the Bible. But, I want to read you guys, a little paragraph. This is Prayer Spiritual Warfare by Charles Spurgeon. I read it all the time. Then we're going to read a little paragraph right here because something good happened to me and something good is going to happen to me in this month. And really, I am so grateful of the faith that I have put on every single day, and I don't never doubt my faith on God. I love Him, and I hope that He listens to me every night. And we need to understand that we need to pray, we need to have faith, and we need to help that one that needs. This is page number 238. It's called The Peace of God. And it says, Our God, we do not stand far away as Israel did in Sinai, nor does a dark veil hang between your face and ours. But the veil has been torn by the death of our divine Lord and mediator, Jesus Christ. In His name we come to the mercy seat, all sprinkled with blood. Here we present our prayers and our praises, except in Him. We confess that we are guilty. We bow our heads and confess that we have broken your law and the covenant of which it is a part. If you were to deal with us under the covenant of works, none of us could be standing. We must confess that we deserve your wrath and to be banished forever from your presence. But you have made a new covenant, and we come under its divine shadow. We come in the name of Jesus. He is our high priest. He is our righteousness. He is well beloved, in whom you, O Lord, are we all pleased. God bless you all on this night. It's raining over here in Tijuana. It's a rainy day. Let's enjoy every single minute that we pray to God, and let's ask Him that we can have the strength to fight every day against everything that is happening. And what it keeps us fighting with this strength is faith. Don't ever let somebody tell you that faith does not work. Faith is the blood that keeps standing a human being. It's keep fighting every day against socialism, against trafficking of children, against the bad, against the evil, against everything that stands against the right words of God. Let's keep fighting against that. And let's have faith. And as humanity, we will destroy this virus. And we will move forward and survive and be great again. God bless you all. Follow my partner, Conservative Anthony, as he's at his YouTube channel. Also, you can follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. And also follow my page as Oscar Blue. Give it a like and share this information. Somebody wants to share it, God bless you. Somebody doesn't want to share it, God bless you. Somebody hates me, God bless you. Go to sleep nice. And somebody, wants to show some love, God bless you also. Thank you so much for listening to me. Let's meditate on what we just listened, and let's pray in faith so we can help others. Thank you so much. Stay safe. And always remember, people, peace and love, because always your country's first.